And again, if it may interest you or not, so far this year under that flood and the FCCE program, the one on the right column, out of the headquarters, we have released, as of this morning, about $43 million to the current flood fight. Our Mississippi Valley Division has spent another $30 million or so in the flood fight out of the MR&T, the Mississippi River and Tributaries account. We've transferred another $35 million from that account, MR&T that is, into FCC&E, and we think we're going to spend that this year. So on about $105 million. We have yet to see the floods in the Northwest. If that happens, they are looking at 125 or 150% of record snowfall still sitting in the watersheds, and a like amount of snow in some of the California watersheds, and we have to yet get through hurricane season as well. So there's a couple of large bogeys still on the screen for us, and we'll try to figure that out. Jeff showed a slide, and I'll show it again in the ensuing slide, on the universe of levees. This is the programs that we're doing to talk through some of that Jeff had mentioned. The inspection of completed works, that will go to those projects that we have designed and built and now hand over to sponsors to operate. A piece of information about 2009, that jumped from 10 million to 26 to 27 million in 2011. That's probably where it's going to stay for at least for the foreseeable future, with appropriate adjustments for inflation. And then the remaining items accounts, the 25 million this year that we gained in the inspection of completed projects, and I'll show you where that is, the same set of levies to do those inspections, of course. And then the National Levy Database for 10 million increase this year to try to capture what we've been talking about, the sort of the whole of universe of levies, to identify those. So again, if train your eyes on the slide, that center yellow rectangle that's got the two core symbols in it, that's the inspection of completed works. That's that rectangle, and then the one to the left is the inspection of completed projects, and then that 10 million that we got this year, 20 million total for the National Levy Database. We'll try to bring all of the levies, but to identify all the levies in this universe. So what I really wanted to talk about sort of forcefully here is what we consider our operational arm, and how we are going to operationalize the interagency effort. And you've heard the word Silver Jackets. There's supposedly an urban legend on how that was named. I'd invite you to go see Mr. Hecker or Jeff Jensen. Sir and Jeff, could you raise your hands over there? There's I understand there's some cocktail party trivia, a couple of beers you might be able to win if you want to be, number one, environmentally friendly, and number two, if you want to exactly know where Silver Jackets came from. Holistic and comprehensive in nature, this program, it is state-led, focusing again on your objectives and your priorities. If we were talking in terms of Lean Six Sigma, this is the program and the process that we are going to listen to the voice of the customer. I am uncomfortable with this customer-client relationship when we deal with one another, so we're listening to the voice of our partners here. Focus at the watershed level, as both Doug Bellamo and Dr. Knight had told us, and it helps us realize the entire life cycle. And just specifically, real quickly, what it allows us to do is use the terrain or the watershed as a forcing function, so that we can integrate across all of the levels of government and collaboration, and then look vertically through all of those down to the terrain and say how can we align our efforts to best effect in the watershed itself. Hopefully to spend 10 cents on prevention and not $1,000 on recovery, and then hopefully what it'll allow us to do, to create for ourselves a compelling common operating picture, so that we can work a common vision and look, in this case, depicted by the slide, 100 years out, perhaps ambitious. However, use that common vision as a pull into an unknowable future. And as we can synchronize our efforts and investments, that would probably be a pretty big deal. So these are a final slide that some of the challenges that we see at the headquarters, synchronizing life cycle throughout the entire flood risk management program, and that's really combining not only at our headquarters but in FEMA as well, and other agencies, and with you all, to try to synchronize investments. Well, we've talked about that. Levy compliance standards, our shop owns that, and Jeff Jensen made mention of that this morning, that there are just a couple of unemotional things that we're trying to deal with, and we're working through that. And then, as I mentioned, the Silver Jackets program, and I would really encourage you, please, if you haven't scheduled your afternoon 3:30 to 5 in the Nunn room or the Nunn conference room, and the USA Showcase has already been mentioned. If you want to learn more about the program, and if you have been involved in the program and can share with us good ideas, because we are at a very, very interesting time in the program, and we need your help. So I'll leave you with this. My old boss, General Riley, and that probably didn't come out real well. My previous boss, General Riley, used to highlight this slide when he closed out his presentations, that we live in interesting times, and we have a real opportunity, at least where I stand, to make a significant impact on our collective future. And I'd ask that we take our first president's guidance to engage the grown-up discussion in a grown-up way, so that we can raise a standard that the wise and honest of any generation can repair. So with that, I'm happy to answer questions at the end. Larry, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time.